and welcome back to Everybody Eats with Joanne Pear. I guess the first thing is to ask, how was your summer? Ours was really, really good, and as you can tell, we were probably doing a lot of eating, but I was not doing a lot of cooking to be on the show. But we're back, and today, what do you do on a rainy day? You cook, and you kind of like get creative. So anyways, today I'm going to make a spinach and sausage bread. But before we get to that, I want to talk about pizza. And I did look up numerous fun facts about pizza, which I really like to do. And I'm just going to give you some of them, just because I found some of them are kind of hilarious. And some of them I don't really believe. But the first thing, number one, they said the average pizzeria uses roughly 55 pizza boxes per day. I would think they would probably make more than 55 pizzas a day. Next thing, it said 36% of all pizza orders want their pizza topping pepperoni. Another thing was 93% of Americans have eaten pizza in the last month, which I'm not surprised by that either. And then each person in America eats about 46 slices of pizza a year. So I guess that could be true as well. And this is the big one, because this is going to be wild. October is the U.S. National Pizza Month. So they're going to probably be having a lot of specials from all the pizza shops and all that. So be ready for a lot of pizza advertisings. This one is not really a surprise. Italian is the most popular type of ethnic food in America. And then this one I really thought was good, but I think I understand the reason behind it. Pizza deliverers claim women are better tippers. And I think the reason for this is they're happy not to be in the kitchen cooking or to have to clean up after. Another part of that is Saturday night is the most popular night to eat pizza. So I think those two really support each other. This is probably not going to be a surprise to anybody. Mozzarella cheese accounts for nearly 80% of Italian cheese production in the United States. And then the first American cities to start selling pizza were New York, Boston, New Haven, Connecticut, which I really thought that they identified New Haven because we all know New Haven's big for pizza, and Trenton, New Jersey. All four of these cities had an influx of Southern Italian immigrants around the turn of the century. Have you had enough of my fun facts yet? Don't worry, there's only a couple more. But I'm giving you a break because actually there were like 81 fun facts, and I narrowed it down. This is really interesting too if you get to New York, but I wouldn't go looking for this place without checking it out yourself. Pizza is such an iconic food, it even inspired an art show in 2013. The Marlborough Broome Street Gallery in New York curated a show called Pizza Time, featuring more than 25 pizza-inspired works of art. The works ranged from paintings like Caveman on Pizza, which featured a sunglasses-wearing physical pizza networking theory, which that makes no sense to me, but it might be worth looking it up to see if you can see it, if there's any pictures out there. And then there's one more thing. There's a pizza museum in Philadelphia called Pizza Brain that is home to the world's largest collection of pizza memorabilia. Whatever that could entail, I have no idea, but I just thought we'd kick it off with a little bit of pizza facts. And this other part of what I want to tell you though is pizza's it's easy to get, it's kind of easy to make. However, I've come up with something that I think is even easier to make than pizza. I love making sausage and spinach bread. And my husband asked me the question because he was helping me look up some information. They talked about spinach breads and they also talked about calzones. And he asked me, what's the difference? So in this picture, we can see that's a spinach and sausage bread, only they only have sausage in it. And this is a calzone. The way I do it, and I guess they do, you can bake both of these, but the way I make my calzones is I put my dough out there, my pizza dough, my cheese, and I fry them just like they did down at Corsino's at Soundview and serve it with sauce for calzones. for the spinach and sausage bread, they actually, oh, and plus they're moon-shaped. The calzones are like moon-shaped. For me, for the spinach and sausage bread, it's baked and it's like a log. It's like a roll. So anyhow, those are my interpretations of what they are. So today we're gonna be having the spinach and sausage bread. I've also held back a little bit too for a surprise. I'm going to show you an easy dessert, but we'll get to that. I want to make sure we have enough time. Anyways, what I'm doing right now is I'm just frying up the sausage to get ready for the spinach and sausage bread. And I have some garlic that I already started in the pan, and I'm just going to throw this bag of spinach in, chopped up spinach, and I'm going to cook it with the garlic a little bit to get it ready to go into the spinach and sausage bread. So I already defrosted it a little bit to get it going, and in it goes. Let's see. Now this bag is, I think it's a pound. Yeah, 16 ounces. So basically you're going to have 16 ounces of spinach frozen, and it's all chopped up, so it's going to be nice in the bread. And what I did for the sausage, I already got a head start on it, but this is a little square of sausage, Italian sausage. You don't have to take it out of the casing or any of that business. You just throw it in the frying pan and get it going. And here again, it's 1 pound. And over here is the pizza dough. And, well, this is 20 ounces. So, but you buy a bag of this and 2 packages of this, and you're well on your way to making your spinach and sausage bread. I just got to get a paper towel. And I already chopped up the garlic in advance. And let me just get this spinach going. So I'll show you this one. I like to have to dry it out. You know, you can't let it be wet when it goes into your spinach bread. And I'm going to have to work on the sausage meat a little bit. Ground it up a little. Too bad you can't smell this stuff, you know? I could give you a, what do you call that, scratch and sniff. Remember that movie where you could go and you get a scratch and sniff card? You could smell the sausage and the garlic and actually be more into it. Okay, this shouldn't take too much longer, but this might take a bit. What's going on here? All right. I'm going to have to come over and lower this a little bit. Now let me think. I'm just trying to make the pieces nice and small so that it goes nicely into the bread. This is not my original recipe, although anytime you get a recipe from a friend, you tend to actually make it your own. And when I first got this recipe, well, actually, you know what? I kind of do think I follow it pretty close to what my friend does. However, she rolls hers. I don't roll it like she does. She makes it a real roll. Mine is like more loggish. But I did plan on having this spinach and sausage bread one year for my daughter's birthday. And the day before, my stove broke. We were having a birthday party. And of course I was going to have other stuff though to go with it. So I called my son and I go, my oven's gone and we're having our birthday dinner tomorrow. And he goes, well, that's all right, you know, let me bring it down here. So I think I made either two or three of them. And I was going to cook them down. He goes, so just bring them and I'll put them in the oven for you. So we had 3 gigantic spinach and sausage bread, and one I did with hot sausage because some of the family members, as I told you before, prefer the hot sausage. And my husband and I really prefer the sweet. So, but you can change whatever you want in here. Some people might not want to do sausage. I've never really made one without sausage, but you could probably try ground chicken maybe, or ground turkey sausage, or something along those lines. So you can modify it. And we're almost getting to the point where I'm going to start rolling out the dough. And I just use pizza dough. My friend has a bakery in her town that she goes to and buys the pizza dough and uses it. And she actually brought me some one time. It was very good. But I just go like to the grocery store, and they have it there. We have a little Italian market in town. You can get the dough there. I don't make my own pizza dough for this. I don't make my own pizza dough for anything. But to buy the store-bought is just as good, in my opinion. And especially if you can get it from a bakery or, a specialty store. But even the big supermarkets, they all offer it. And you can get some of the doughs flavored. You can get some that's flavored with basil. There's a lot of choices when you start looking around to, start trying to learn a little bit more if it's something new that you haven't done. But, basically that's about the extent of, of what I can tell you about how to make this. I'm going to show you next. But one of the things I did want to tell you about was on the calzones. When I do my calzones, I don't put any meat or anything like that. I tried in the beginning to try to put ham or do something a little different. I just put the ricotta cheese and some mozzarella cheese, some grated cheese, put my calzone, and I'll make some of those someday soon. And then I fry them, and then after that, after you fry them, put them in the oven to keep them warm, so that when everybody gets one at the same time. No meat in the calzones, but I do a sauce, which is really nice, which we'll cover that another time. But for the spinach and sausage bread, I bake it, and there's no sauce. I like to have that served with a salad or something along those lines. So they kind of have their own style of the meal when you make it. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try spreading out the dough. Oh, geez, look at, I still have garlic left over. Gotta put this in something. All right. I know you're not going to be too happy with all this garlic, but it adds to the flavor. All right, let me just see. This is going to get baked anyway, so it doesn't have to be totally cooked. It's going in the oven. And we're back after her station break. And basically what I'm going to do now is just show you how to spread out the dough for your spinach and sausage bread. And I just put a little oil in here so that it wouldn't stick. Got to try to get it out now. Oh boy. There we go. And this is going to take a few minutes to just spread it out. And my producer is reminding me to talk about the parchment paper, which is so important on this. It really is. So basically I'm just going to try to stretch it out because I have, let me just move this bowl so you can see better. Yeah, see, we got all stretch this out over here. I have all that room on either side, so I want to get it all the way out to the end. Now what I want to do is kind of work it out a little bit. And I want to keep the center thicker. And the reason I want to keep the center thicker is because everything's going to be laying on top of this. So I want it to hold up. And I can have these thinner because I'm going to stretch these across the top. And it's just going to take a little bit of time here. But it takes a little, you have to be patient with yourself when you're gonna learn how to do stuff like this. Sometimes, you know, if the dough's not soft enough, it's gonna take a little longer. And we're not like the people in the restaurants that can just spin, you know, like that with it, because that's a real art, being able to spin the pizza dough. So, can you see all this? Yeah? All right, I'm gonna just show you up a little bit. I'm working it. It's gonna take a little while to get it there, to stretch it out enough, but it just takes a little patience. And cooking is patience. My daughter and I made homemade pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce, not pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce the other day. She had a has a phenomenal garden, and she made the sauce for herself and her husband, and then she said we would do it, and she blanched all the tomatoes herself at her house, and then she brought me a ton of tomatoes, and we had some that she had already given us, so we did that. And my husband wanted us to film it, but there was so much work entailed. It would have taken too long to film it, but maybe the next time we'll do it in sections, you know, so that we can show you how it all went. But boy, let me tell you, it was delicious, and the multiple different types of tomatoes used in it. But now, I think, right now, we're good on this. As I said, I want to keep this thick in the center. So basically right now, I am just going to start filling it. And just trying to remember, I like to put the sausage on the bottom, and then you're going to seat all your spinach on top of that. So, you know, we cooked this earlier. And sometimes, like, if I'm going to do this, like, on a Saturday, like, say, after church or something, I'll cook everything in advance, and then just have to come home and spread out the dough. And, you know, you get it done in no time then. So here we go. 1 pound of sausage. And spread it out. And it's just a matter of layering it all together now. So one of these would probably, if you had like another, if you were going to feed 3 people, one would be fine, as long as you had, whoop, there's on the outside, as long as you had, but for us, the 2, we will have most of this tonight, and then there'll be a little bit left over probably for a little snack tomorrow. So that's the sausage. And then I'm going to pile up the spinach on top of that. And it's a hands-on, really hands-on. But you've already, what I should tell you too is what I did when you weren't looking. I took all the sausage out and I put it in that little dish. Then I threw the spinach in the pan that I cooked the sausage in, just so that it got all the good from the sausage juice too. So that's why it's in a different pan now, because I wanted to have it a lot of flavor. And I actually had to sprinkle in a little garlic powder as well. I think you I just got a reaction to the garlic powder. That's why the cook needs to be alone in the kitchen without the censor. But anyway, you'll love it. You'll love it. And if I didn't tell you I put it in there, you would have never noticed it. Let's see here. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So you just keep layering it like this, and then, as I say, it's hands-on, but you know, you have your clean hands in the kitchen, and that's all you're doing. You're not doing anything else but cooking, touching the food. So, all right. So I'm just going to try to make sure I get that on there really well. So that's enough for that. Now let me just get this. Look, there's a little more spinach though. And to see how it's nice chopped up, the small chopped up one. Okay, so I'll just put it down here. Let me get this out of the way. I'm just going to lower this. You don't mind, do you? No, okay. Now, the next thing, I got to wash my hands a little bit though. Paper towels. Like crazy, yes. Oh, I gotta put the oven on. Yeah, okay, so I am going to be cooking 2 things tonight in the oven, so I'm going to leave the racks like they are. or as they are, and I'm going to bake, and I'm going to put it at 350, and it just defaults to 350. So, and both things are going to be done at 350. So now that's in there, and now I want to put a little grated cheese. And I am going to be writing this up, and my my daughter will probably add it to the wherever the show shows up. She'll put the recipe out there so you guys can have it with the ingredients. Now I'm just going to use some mozzarella cheese, and we know that this is one of the United States big products that we make here, based on what I just told you from that pizza business. Pizza facts. I'm going to use my hands again here. A little bit of cheese. And you just play it by ear, you know. But I would stick with a mild cheese. I mean, I wouldn't do anything like cheddar or anything like that, you know. Unless you want to get creative and make a whole different type of, you know, bread. You can figure it out, maybe like a taco or something, and use all those ingredients. Now, the other thing, and this my friend told me about too, is the egg. So what we're going to do here is beat the egg up. And I made a basket. So for this, I'm going to put a little here, and then I'm going to use the rest of it on the top of on the bread to give it a nice golden color. So right now, I'm just going to put a little bit of this over here. I guess it helps it stay together. Let me just get a spoon. And yeah, we could eat probably the whole thing ourselves, but we'll say we don't eat it all at once. We'll eat part of it tonight and then the rest of it, like for a snack tomorrow or something. And that's basically all you have to do here. There's no measuring, you know, you're just eyeballing. Now here's the fun part, and this is where you really have to try to be patient. And the first couple times might not come out perfect, but you know what? It'll be good enough to eat even if it didn't come out perfectly. So I'm just going to stretch, you know, very gently. And then, I want to try to squish it down a little bit though so you get more to the end. And then see, this is another nice, this will stretch really well. See how that goes? But you have to just take your time. And I think that's one of the things that when you read about cooks, they say just be patient, you know, with your food when you're making it. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to squeeze that down to the end so there's more on the end. Because you don't want to just have all pizza dough down there. You want some food in there. All right. And then I'm just going to fold it over a little bit more. And I'm going to pinch the edges. Okay. And I'm going to pinch the edges on the other section, on the other end. And I think that's all covered well enough. So I don't want to overhandle it either. You know, that's another big thing. Now, here's another little thing. I never knew how much I missed not having one of these until one year. I think it was probably Christmas, and my daughter put it in my Christmas stocking. And oh my goodness, look how nice this is now. Instead of, before I used to drizzle it and then try to hug it with the paper to get the egg all over it. But you never know how valuable something is going to be when you're cooking until you finally get one. And because I never thought I needed this. I would have never bought one, you know, really. But now that I have it, standard kitchen equipment, especially for something like this, you know. And it just kind of helps you get a nice, even coating. So, geez, I can't believe we're finally coming to the end of all of this because we started this a while ago. As you know, we had some glitches. And that's it. I'm just going to do that. Then what I'm going to do is I call it like letting the parchment paper hug it a little bit too, just to make sure it's good and secure. Okay. All right. to do now is I'm going to try to just give it a little bit of a, shape it a little bit more, because we just don't want to be a big tall thing like that. So that side is good. And this is the beauty of parchment paper. It doesn't stick, you know. And if you don't have parchment paper, I say try it. You'll love it. You can use it on so many things. Now see how I shaped it? I made the shape a little better, a little more even. Okay, now, normally I would pop it right in the oven, but I was watching a show recently on something, and they let it rest for a little while. So while this is resting, I'm going to show you how to make something else. But I'm only going to let this rest for about probably 5 minutes. So I'm going to put it over here, set my timer for 5 minutes. I love the timers. And let me just clear up this a little bit. I did use all my ingredients, correct? Yes. Doesn't hurt to have your list or go back to your list either every now and then when you're cooking, because you can get distracted. And so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to pop this back in the fridge. You can see Halloween is coming. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, because I thought this was so easy to make, that you might want to just try something new and easy and quick. A lot of times quick is the big thing sometimes when you're making a lot of food for people, or you just kind of feel like doing some cooking. So we have our vanilla, we have pears, we have a graham cracker crust pie, and some eggs. This is going to be a pear pie, and it's very nice. It's a nice summer dessert. It's a nice anytime dessert, really. And I just use the graham cracker crust pie shell pie, and you don't have to do anything with it. I mean, maybe somebody might say you could pre-bake it, but I've never done that. So these are the pears. Usually I buy the ones that are, these were sliced, but I like the ones usually that are in half, but we'll just do these anyway. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to drain out all the juice, because the juice isn't going in there. Let's see here. I'm going to pour the juice into a bowl. I just got to open this up a little. Okay. Let me see how I can do this. I should have had my strainer down, but I don't, so. Okay. There goes the juice. You don't want the juice in there in the pie like that. Now, one thing I have learned when I make this is once you put your pear pieces in the pie here, don't move them, because it's very fragile, and it might wreck your pie shell. So, as I say, I usually get the ones that are, sliced in half, but turns out when I looked at this can, they're not. So, but I'm not going to move them after I put them in. They're just going to stay there, because they will spoil the crust. They get like soggy or something. But this is a really easy recipe. A girl I used to work with in the insurance company gave me this recipe, and her name was Migdalia. Nice girl, and she was like a newlywed, and it was so nice to get a recipe, off a young newlywed, and it was a family recipe, I'm sure, probably something her mom or grandmother used to make, and it was simple and tasty, and I've used it for years now, and people like it, especially if you have multiple desserts and one person doesn't like one thing. You can always have something quick like this for an alternative. Or if you have friends over, like your girlfriend's over for lunch or something, and you want to give dessert, something like this is easy. and it's not too heavy. Okay, so that's what this is going to look like. Can you see that? Make your little circle. Do you have it? Yeah? You got it? Okay. Now, the other thing you want to do is, it's 3 eggs. And I'm using the can for a measure. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to put the eggs in here though, because I'm going to beat them up. Okay, so 3 eggs. 1, whoops, and I think we got a shell on there, darn it. Yeah, I think so. See if I can get it out. 2. I don't think I did. No. And 3. Oh, you can hear my oven's ready. Okay. Well, I think we're just going to have to eat that shell because I can't get it out. It's so tiny. But we're eating this, so I'm not worried. Now I'm going to whip these up. You want to make sure they're nicely whipped up because it's going to be a custard. I know, the oven went off. Yep. Okay. And I'm keeping, there's a little bit of juice in there. Well, I'll leave it in. All right, so I'm going to keep the can for a measure. Okay. Now I'm going to put the eggs in there. Now, the heavy cream. Yeah. So we're going to have heavy cream. And I use this as a measure because I think that's the only way to keep the ratio right for liquid and egg. But here's something I learned today. I'm struggling and struggling and struggling to try to get this cap off, and this is not going anywhere. It's like, do I call my husband? Do I bug him to do this? Do I bring it upstairs to his office, have him open it? I'm like, let me try to figure it out. So what I found was this little guy, right? And your nutcracker, an old cracker. And I took it and I used this, and boy, it got it off me. So that's a little handy tip. You know, you can always find something in your kitchen. Oh, look at, oh, it's not gonna come off now. And maybe I tightened it. Let's see here. I did have it off. Let me see if I can try to get it off now. Whoop! It's off! I do have one in my... I do. Try to catch the eggs down in the drain there or whatever. And anyways, I guess I should say don't try this at home. But I do. Anyways, what I want to do now is I want to pour the heavy cream into this can, so we'll know how much we're going to have in here. And I'm just going to put a splash of vanilla. All right. And I really don't have much in here, so I'm just going to put some in. That a little bit. Whoop. Oh boy, sprayed back at me. Anyways. And now I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. I'm going to put it back in here, though, to give it another little whip. But see, now we know how much we're supposed to have. Because you don't want to have more than this can full of egg and heavy cream. And it's heavy cream you should use. Or whipping cream, but yeah, heavy whipping cream. I guess it's the same thing. So, I'm going to put them both in at the same time. So now I'm just going to whip this up, and in it goes to the pie. And I'm doing the pie on a cookie tray. Can you see what I'm doing here? Just pour it gently. And as I said, just don't move your pear slices after you've got them in the pie shell. And that's really all there is to this pie, huh? Not bad. And then after it bakes for like, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes at 350. You definitely have to chill it, which I'll show it to you later. And then you can eat it with whipped cream topping, or, you know, with whipped cream, heavy cream, or plain. So now, everybody's going in. The The spinach and sausage bread is going in. I'm going to put that guy down on the bottom. And I hope this is all going to be happy in there where I'm putting it. And then the pie's going up on top. In we go. And set my timer for 35 minutes. And I'm also going to set her. Alexa, set oven timer for 35 minutes. Good. So that's it now. I mean, we're really pretty much just going to wait for the food to cook. And once it's done, we'll resume and we'll show you, how everything looks. And I just want to tell you right now, just remember today is September 25th. And you know what that means? 3 months from today, it's Christmas. Well, my Alexa has, yeah, well, the machine has called me, and as did the oven, or the timers. So it is now time, oh, I gotta shut that off, okay, to take this out. Oh, what do you think, huh? What do you think? Can you get it all? Spinach and sausage bread. And fresh out of the oven. Also, oh geez, I probably should put it on the cutting board. I should put it on here for now. Okay, yeah. Gotta move this over because I want to show you the pie too. Okay. And I already took the pie out because I put the pie in for 35 minutes and it's done. But this I let go for another 10 minutes. So the spinach bread went for 45 minutes. And the pie went for 35 minutes. But together, considering that only took 5 minutes to put together, and now you have your main course and you have dessert. This we won't be able to cut into tonight, or well, we will probably later, but it has to cool because it is a custard. And the spinach bread, I'm going to put on this, I think that's the big enough one, maybe not. Maybe I better use the bigger one, the bread board, or the cutting board. There we go. Yeah, I think I'll use this one, looks like it'd be a better fit. Oh yeah, a little bit. All right, so the next thing we have to do then, I like using this one though because it has the rubber feet, so all these little things when you buy your stuff for your kitchen, there's little extra features to maybe look for. All right, let's see how about doing this. This is the beauty of parchment paper, I think. Oh yeah, it's going to be a little hot, but let's see if I can get this over here and then just kind of slide it. Oh yeah, look at that, huh? That would not have been so easy without parchment paper. And like this little pan here, my husband ordered me new pans one day, and this has a tray too, and a little tray and all that business. Every now and then you have to upgrade or replace, but we're not going to be able to eat this right away, but I am going to, I'm going to just cut it so you get to see a little bit of it, but we're not going to eat it right at the moment because it needs to cool down a little. But we will cut it just so you can see what it's going to be like. My knife out here. Come on. Okay. I hope you make this. I hope you do make one of these. We couldn't eat the whole thing like that, but I'll cut it like this, like this, like this. Anyways, I'm just going to cut it right now. I even hate to cut it when it's so hot, but I want you to be able to see it right away. I don't really have those Teflon fingers, but okay. Oh my God. Look at this. Let me turn this around so you guys can see it. Look at that. Is that filled? Can you see that, hon? Huh? Is it showing up on your camera? Yeah. Look at that, huh? So anyways, that's spinach and sausage bread. And I hope you get to make it one day. And with the pie, you can see it here. It has to be chilled. You can put, Ready Whip on it, or cream, or whatever, or plain, whatever you want. But anyhow, thank you again for joining us, and hope to see you soon. I'm already thinking of some new recipes.